Live the Dream Media.
Does your ordinary radio feel a little limited? If you're looking for a new way to listen, it's time for a fresh start. Introducing the Live the Dream Media app, your premier destination and a new level up for digital radio. Over the last 2 years, we've found new ways to ensure your digital radio experience is the best it can possibly be. From live podcasts that spark new perspectives to a 24/7 soundtrack of live music, and even our built-in merch store. We've built a platform that is convenient, high quality, and simple to navigate. But we're only just getting started. Catch all of our shows weekly and join the Live the Dream Media family today and help us change the airwaves forever. Download it for free on the App Store or Play Store today. Live the dream. The dream starts now.
Your favorite radio just got bigger, bolder, and better connected. Live the Dream Media is revolutionizing how you stay tuned in. With our explosive growth in online radio and our brand new mobile app, your entertainment goes wherever you do. Stream your favorite shows, discover new hits, and connect with audiences across the digital landscape, all at your fingertips. Advertisers don't miss out. Join our expanding digital network and reach engaged listeners across platforms. Download the Live the Dream Media app today and experience radio reimagined.
Thank you for tuning in to the Live the Dream Media Network. We've got an incredible slate of live podcasts waiting for you every week right here on our app. Get your morning started right with Wake Up, hosted by Christopher DeSimone, airing Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m. The momentum continues every Monday morning at 9 with the Marana and Oro Valley Experience, hosted by David Samorano and Clint Peak, followed by Truth and Tell with Blair Lametti and Summer Smeaton at 10:30 a.m. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, join us at 9 a.m. for Southwest Flavor, and don't miss Sobriety, Spirituality, and Sales every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. Every Wednesday at 9 a.m., Bruce Ash brings you the inside track, and we wrap up the week every Friday at 9 a.m. with former NBA player Bob Elliott on The Bob Elliott Show. It's all happening live every week. Stay tuned, stay informed, and keep living the dream.
Good morning and happy Monday. Good morning, Marana, Oro Valley. This is Clint Peak with Move, and we have a special guest this morning. I wish we could say that we'd been planning this for months based on what's going to happen on Saturday, but sometimes you just get lucky. Dr. Wade McLean's with us this morning. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Glad to be here.
We're going to have a lot of fun. I just told you this is going to be the quickest 40 minutes of this week.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be. You know, I met you for the first time, just like 10 days ago.
Yeah.
Out at the John Post Pumpkin Patch.
Yes, sir.
The Post family, I should say, because there's way more than John out there. And we just struck up a friendship immediately, and we started talking. And 10 days later, here you are. I was checking. You sent me this morning your CV, and I was checking over it. You asked me if I read it. Just for reference, it's about this long. So I didn't read it all, but I read enough that you're a legend.
Well, it's long because I'm old.
Well, that's part of it. But here's the other thing. My sister, if you Google her first name, Glenna, you'll get this long list of things she's accomplished. So you might have lived a longer life than, but it's only because you accomplish things that you filled up that list.
It's been an exciting run.
Educator extraordinaire, especially here in Pima County. I noticed you had one place, White River.
I was
Is that
in
where you
White River
started?
for 2.5 years. No, just after I retired.
Oh, is that after? It was in reverse order then. I
Yep.
mean, it's in chronological
Uh-huh.
order. So, and you're from here. You're a native.
Third generation
Yeah.
Tucsonan.
Wow. So your teaching career,
Marana.
how long? I mean, you got buildings named after you, swimming pools or
Well, I went from Tucson High. I didn't get very far in Tucson. I went to Mansfield Middle School, and then I went down the street to Tucson High, and then across the street to the U of A. So
yeah, you worked that corner pretty hard, didn't you?
I was a 6th Street kid. Yeah, and then I went back to Tucson High to student teach, and then I got an interview in Marana, only because I was having lunch with my former coaches who I was student teaching for, and Sharkey Price. I don't know, the listeners may not remember Sharkey Price, but he was the defensive line coach at the University of Arizona, came in for lunch. And so one of the coaches asked Sharkey, do you know where there's any football jobs open? He said, I just drove through Marana and they're looking for football coaches.
What year was this? Is it-
1973,
Okay.
spring. And so I went out, and that was the year that Tony Comedina was transitioning from high school principal to superintendent. So I did an interview, and they asked me, one of the questions I remember was, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I said, I want to be the head football coach at Tucson High. Well, I never reached that goal, but it worked out. So they said, if we offer you a contract today, would you sign it? And I said, I need to go home and talk to my wife. So I got in my truck and drove down to Cherry Field at Tucson High and asked the coach, what do I do? He said, sign it. So I signed it. So that's how I got my first teaching job as a rookie in 1973.
That's a great story. I love that. Was it that quick?
It was that
when you
quick.
asked him, hey, what should I do? He said, sign it.
Yep.
I love that
There
story.
was actually a glut of teachers at that time. So jobs weren't easy to get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Boy, that's one thing, just to jump forward, that's one of the things we're most passionate around here about, and that is education. Educating our kids. Dr. Dan Streeter has sat in that seat numerous times, and we've talked about it, and he's doing a great job.
He is a great.
He really is, because we got problems. Education, not just here, local, across. When our kids can't read and our kids can't do math, man, we got very little. We got the. I'm not saying the future is bleak, because I know a lot of young kids that are tearing it up, but I want all of them to tear it up, not
Right.
just a handful.
Right.
I'm going to just ask this. I was going to wait, and my memory might not carry me through to the end, but I'm going to still ask you this question. You just, your one of your mentors asked you, "What do you want to be when you grow up?"
I think I've done that.
Because that's a question I ask myself a lot. I don't know what I want to be when I grow up.
Life is a journey.
It is.
If you have the right attitude, it's
It
a fun
is.
journey.
It is. I love getting up every morning. You can see what I mean, we got young kids all over this place. I wake up, my head floor, and I'm like, what can we do? And we're working on a brand new project right now that I am so excited about. I just can't wait to see what the next level brings. So, buildings named after you out here. My co-founder David Samorano mentioned. Is there a swimming pool named after you? Is that what?
There's a swimming pool at Marana High School that the County Board of Supervisors named after me. And then there's a little park on Silver Bell next to Coyote Trail Elementary.
Yeah.
The town of Marana did that one.
Yeah.
That was nice of them.
How cool is that?
It's really
Drive
cool.
by.
Yeah, but, there comes with certain stipulations because the park I have to go down once a week and clean up the dog dirt. So that was part of the deal.
Keep you humble there, right?
It does.
Yeah. We're in a parade, and I need my doggy bag. That's hilarious. That's great. I didn't know that. That was written in the contract.
Well,
with you.
thankfully, they're not enforcing it.
Okay. Real quick about me, and it's going to lead back to you. Is I moved to Arizona in 1989. I'm not a native. I got here as quick as my kids I could. Both of my kids are natives. They were born in Phoenix. We lived in Phoenix for 12, 13 years, and we moved here in '02. The best move I ever made in my life was moving. I actually lived. Ed used to say it best. Clint, you live in Marana, you sleep in Oro Valley, which we've been in this location here 20 years. So most of the time I've lived. Best move I ever made was moving here. Second best move was moving to Phoenix. This is my adopted hometown region.
Well, welcome.
Yeah, I've only been here 24 years now, but I this is just.
My mother came to Tucson when she was 3, and we never gave her native status.
Yeah.
If you're not born in Tucson, you're not from
Well,
Tucson.
I'm not. I'm not. My kids are, so I'm going to do the my kids. What do they call it? I'm the border. I'm the recipient of my kids being here. I love it. This is where I want to spend the rest of my days. I do like the energy of Phoenix a little bit. There's fun, but I love coming home and driving up Tangerine Road to my house and just looking at that big, beautiful mountain up there and just.
Well, when I was superintendent and I had a tough day, I would take Tangerine Road. In those days, it was just 2 lanes.
Yeah.
Very simple.
They did a lot of this. The kids call it the bumpy road.
And to decompress, I used to count the hawks on the telephone poles. And by the time I got home, I was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
You still lived wherever it was you were heading?
No. Once I got remarried, we both decided to sell our homes and buy a home together. So we're in a new home.
Okay. On Tangerine somewhere?
No, it's actually by Ventana Canyon.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that road, there's just something magical about that road. Now they took the kids used to call it the bumpy road because my mother at that time and sister were well, my mother passed away, but my sister still lives around the corner from me. But they lived here, and we'd come down from Phoenix on a regular basis, and they loved it. Drive a little faster, Dad. This is, they're 3 or 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
Back to Marana. So you taught in the Marana school district for.
Well, I was there 30 years.
Okay.
So, but I taught 3 years.
Okay,
And
and then
when-
you administrated.
Yes. When I got to Marana High School, it was what is currently Marana Middle School.
Okay.
So the current Marana High School hadn't been built yet. It was in the process of being built.
When was that built?
We moved into that in '76.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's an interesting story there.
Yeah, I want to
too.
hear it because we kind of talked about that a little bit.
The move was done with volunteers, course maintenance people, and they used cotton trailers to move some of the equipment over
Of
to the
course
new high
it
school.
was.
Yeah. Typical kind of Marana move. I mean, people volunteered, they stepped up, and that's what they do.
I think that's one of because I grew up in a small farming community in southern Illinois. And I think that's part of the reason why I'm so attracted, even more to Marana than Oro Valley, because we don't farm in Oro Valley. It's a bunch of us showed up from Chicago or somewhere, and we moved in. But Marana, I think that's the thing that is so appealing to me is because the Kai family's been here since 1910. The Post family has been here since the 20s. You got the Wongs. You got even the Parsons, who are the new arrivals, got here 55, 60 years ago, which is amazing. And they built this town. Ed has sat right there and talked about him and his brother used to dig the first water lines because their parents started the first water company in Marana.
Well, my grandfather, McLean, used to run Canoa Ranch, which is, at that time, it was like 800,000 acres. And my other grandfather, he was a foreman at Midvale Farm, which is now the Midvale Farm subdivision and area. So my mom grew up on the Midvale Farm. My dad grew up on the Canoa Ranch.
So was that 80-something years ago then?
It would have been in the 20s.
Yeah, 100 years ago.
Yeah.
See, I love those stories, that history. That's why we were talking before we started. I need you and people like you to help me continue to share these stories because the newcomers, God bless them, that have showed up in this century, and there's so many of them, because I think when I moved here, Marana was like, I remember when the only thing at Cotero was the McDonald's and the gas station.
Yeah. To me, that's new.
And the same at what I call Old Marana, the exit there. It was the Circle K, the other gas station across the street, that little grocery store, and whatever that little building is behind there.
I remember when the town building, Marana Town building, was in Honey Heights, made out of adobes, and was just an old, dilapidated 3-bedroom home.
What are we talking 70s?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And when Ora May Harn became mayor, that's where the town council met.
I've heard so many cool stories. I never met Ora May.
Well, she was a wonderful lady. She originally, as far back as I've heard the stories, she lived up in Silverbell when Silverbell had their own community. There was housing and stores and post office and whatnot. And she drove a school bus for us, for the Silverbell kids, drove it to what is now Estes Elementary, where the cafeteria was, and then got off her bus, unloaded the kids, got off her bus, went to work in the cafeteria, and then
drove them home.
Drove them home.
I've heard Dave Bowen. You know Dave Bowen, who served on the council for a while. I'd never heard the police story about how she bought an old car somewhere.
I don't know
the council and came down here on Ina Road and started patrolling it.
Doesn't surprise me.
With an old police car that they'd bought at an auction somewhere. I'm picturing like the Blues Brothers mobile or something, and they cruised it and they policed it, and that's how this section of Marana got to be incorporated into the town or annexed into the town because the county wanted it, and she's like, no, we've been providing policing on Ina Road for a while at that point.
She was a great lady and doesn't get enough credit for what she's done to mold this town into what it is.
We're going to help, but that's part of the whole thing. Ed was part of the reason we do what we do, because one day about 4 or 5 years, probably 5 years ago, I was walking through the house and my wife was sitting there watching TV, and I just said, you know what? Meet the mayor. I'm going to call Ed up. We're going to have him on, do some podcasts. That was back in the first day. We weren't even live at that point. The first days. I'm going to call him up. He's going to tell stories about his family and Marana, et cetera. And I called him up from my office back over here. And before I could even get the question out, he's like, yeah, when do we start?
Well, he was a good man, too. And when I first met him, he was a mailman.
Mm-hmm.
And people really don't understand. Mailmen know everything that's going on. They know what kind of magazines you read at your house. They know everything.
Exactly. And they know if your bills are paid or not.
That's correct. And
that's funny.
Mayor Honey was a mailman, and the other mailman was Harry Hansen,
Mm-hmm.
Bud Hansen, who ended up becoming president of the school board.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good men.
Yeah, see, those are great stories. I'm gonna ask you on camera here. Will you help me tell some of those stories? Because we got to share those.
I'll never be able to repay Marana School District for what they've meant to me.
I actually was at an event. Was State of the Town. What, a month ago or early part? Must have been a couple. Now it feels like longer than that. I guess just a couple, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and Dr. Dan Streeter was there, and I said to him then, I'm like, because David and I were talking about. We need somehow to share some of these stories, not only in this format, but in the school systems. Getting together an assembly of a bunch of 3rd graders or 5th graders or high schoolers, it really doesn't matter, and start sharing some of these stories directly from you or Mr. Despain or someone like that was there. And because to me, history is so important to know how we got it. I mean, Again, Oro Valley just kind of showed up one day because people started moving there. And it's a great place to live. I don't mean to say that disparaging at all. But Oro Valley or Marana, this thing got built over decades of these families that I mentioned a minute ago coming together, and primarily because there was a water need. How do we control our water destiny, like so often, especially out here in the West? Water was so important. And so there's 100+ years history that we need to start sharing immediately. Because maybe I'm a history buff, so maybe that makes it a little more fun for me than the average person,
Well,
but
people should know their roots.
they should know their roots.
And for example, my grandfather on my mom's side, he sold fertilizer to the Post family in the 50s. And they lived on the south side, and he'd drive out, do the fertilizer thing. And so when I first met Dan Post, which would have been in the 70s, he knew of my grandfather.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
I love those stories, those connections. See, that's, again, it's so important. That's our foundation of where we live, why we're here. That's why the new folks, even if they don't necessarily care, that's just human nature, they should care because that's what they don't realize, but the fruits of a lot of this are the reason why they want to be here.
Well, one thing that comes to mind is our youth don't really appreciate what it takes to build an organization, whether it's the school district or the town. For example, if you were to sit down and write down all the volunteers that have served either the school district or the town on the town councils, on the Marana school boards for the last, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 years, maybe 100 years.
100 years.
When I first came here, there had been a recall with the board members in the school district because a lot of people didn't like where they built Marana High School, and they were recalled. And we used to hear stories about every once in a while they get in a heated debate at a school board meeting when nobody was in attendance. They just met and did business, and they'd adjourn the meeting, go out in the parking lot, settle it, come back in and vote. Now, I don't know what happened in the parking lot. All I know is some stories, but it was a tough time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But all those people were volunteers. They gave up their time.
you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that because I want to make sure I bring this up because Saturday night at the Patch is the 100th anniversary or celebration of the 100th anniversary of Marana Unified
Isn't that great?
High School. And you're the keynote speaker.
Well, yeah, but they didn't give me a free ticket. So that gives you an idea what my speaking is worth.
You and so on the doggy bags. I mean, the cleaning up the yard. So it's keeping you humble, though, right?
Well, they're going to make me bust tables afterwards to pay
no,
for
actually,
it.
that's my job. But and like I say, I wish we'd had to plan that out. We'd really looked really smart. At least we could have said we were really smart planning this conversation the week that we celebrate that.
Yeah.
But I forget where I was going there. But no, the volunteers. The volunteers. I've never seen people volunteer or step up for the community. I'll give you a good example. I'm on the new food bank board that Ed Honey created. He and Tom Murphy, Salrita Mayer. I was
Before
there.
that, it was Ora Harn.
And before that, it was Ora Harn. And that was kind of the rallying cry is let's get back to that mentality because there had been some drifting from that motivation. And so I sat in on a meeting. My wife was there with us, and we sat in on a meeting that all came about, the new Marana Food Bank. It's been 3 years ago, I guess so. Maybe even longer than that. Time flies. And so we were looking at, you know where we're located there on Greer Road, and we needed to purchase that because the owner wanted to sell it, and they gave us the first right. We needed $220-some thousand. And I remember saying at a board meeting, well, we got this. This is going to be actually kind of easy. We're just going to put the appeal out that we need this money, and we needed it for a truck prior to that, $50,000. And I'm like, well, no, we'll just collect that. We're going to get that like in no time. And like 30 days later, we had the $50,000, the $220,000+. It was like, I don't know, 3 months we had. And we didn't really like push or wring people's arms or just put the call out, and people were writing checks for 25 or 50
And they're donating and they're volunteering at the same time.
and they're donating and they're volunteering at the same time.
Yep.
And then paying for a meal to go. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
you don't find that anywhere else, or at least I haven't.
It's been a close-knit group forever.
Because we showed up in Phoenix, our kids were in the school district there. That's one of the reasons why we moved here. We showed up 900 kids in that school. I grew up in a population of 100 kids in the school, and you know how many people showed up for the PTA meetings? 200, because everybody showed up for the meetings. And so I say to my wife, I'm like, we better get there early. 900 kids. I don't even know where they're going to seat them. Well, we got there and there were like 8 people in the room.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at Tammy going, well, we got to move. And we started doing our research. And you know who was at the top of the list in Arizona?
No.
Marana and Pima school districts were
Yeah.
at the top of the list. And that was in turn of the century, say late 90s, early 2000.
That's when I became superintendent.
Well, you're the reason why we're here then. Because when we looked at that, we're like, well, statewide, public schools, Marana and Pima were at the top. You remember there's this thing called goodschools.net or something like that? You remember
Well,
that?
that's evidenced by the number of A+ schools that we had at that time.
Well, you're the reason why we're here, Doctor. I'm
Well-
serious. When we looked at that, it's like, and my mom lived here, and because we were ready to move further west in Phoenix. We lived by where they built the stadium, if you know
Cardinal
what I'm talking
Stadium?
about. Yeah, the
On
Cardinal
101?
Stadium. Yeah, the 101. We were in Phoenix, not Glendale, but we were really close, and the growth that was a pig farm, by the way, if you remember correctly. I have pictures of it when my wife said, we're in the country. 40% of the population in Maricopa County now lives west of there. But we were thinking about moving west, and my mom goes, think about moving this way. And I'm like, I'm not moving to Tucson. And then I started looking deeper in Marana, Oro Valley, and the schools, and I'm like, well, I think we are moving to Pima County. I'm just not sure where we're going to move.
We had tremendous support at that time. The governor came down and did a press conference at our place at Butterfield Elementary. Subsequent to that, she appointed me to the State Board of Education.
She was my mom and her were buddies.
Jane Hull.
Yeah, and Brewer, both of them. They were all buddies.
Governor Hull was a former teacher.
Yeah.
And
My mom was the cookie lady, Copper Creek cookies and all that. She'd show up at the governor's office up there and just tell her it's the cookie lady, and the next thing you know, they're hugging. And
it was a good time for
Yeah.
education. I can't say that now, but it was then.
yeah,
Very appreciative for what she's done.
we have a lot of candidates come on, obviously, at this time of the year with an election, and I ask all of them. I'm like, I've really only got one question. You can give me all your talking points, all your bullet points. I'll sit here and listen. I may chime in, but I've got one question, really, of every one of you, and that is, where are you on school choice? And I need one answer. I'm only looking for one answer. Hey, accountability is important across the board, but I just need to know where you're at, because if we're not educating our kids, what are we doing?
And it means all kids.
And it means every kid. And I want to see as many. I want to see options. I want to see, and this is where Dr. Dan and I have had some really great conversations, because we don't necessarily see eye to eye on this, but we all want the same outcome. And I want the best educated kids possible. And people go, why do you care? Your kids aren't involved in school anymore. Our grandkids in Idaho. So I'm like, it's selfish. I want the smartest kids possible. I don't care what you do. You're a doctor, you're an educator, you're a road builder, you work in the parks. I want the smartest kids possible taking care of me when I get old.
That's right. And
Period.
I was on the governing board at Pima College for a while, and it's sad to know that we have to remediate students when they hit junior college. And I was also on faculty at the U of A and at the graduate level, and still there were students at the graduate level that didn't possess the skills that I thought they should have. And that means we're not educating all students to learn at their capacity. And I think we've forgotten to do that. We talk about the kids that are leaving and going to basis or private high schools or whatever, but what about the kids that are left behind that are going to do a lot of our work?
And it's 80%. I don't know what it's a high number
Well, it's
of kids in those that you just described, right?
we just had some work done on our patio at home, and the math that's required to lay tile in a patio is unbelievable. And where did they get that if they don't get it in the public school?
Exactly. Another thing that I echo what you just said 100%. I don't care. Let's just educate our kids. I don't care. Let's get the politics out of it. Let's get the. Here's one thing that I remember growing up. Because back to your point, the remediation. I don't remember that being a. Maybe I just missed it because I was living in that. But I don't remember that being a problem when I was going to college. That there was a bunch of people needing to catch up. It seemed like we kind of everybody. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just was caught up in it and didn't pay attention. But
Well, my freshman year at the University of Arizona, which would have been 1969, they had a 50% dropout rate for freshmen.
well, that kind of says it, doesn't it?
Some of them were prepared.
Yeah.
And that's the ones that wanted to go to the
Yeah.
university.
Yeah. Wow. Maybe we just take a different approach on this. How about that? Because, I mean, when my kids were little, my wife was a teacher as well. So she was gone. I was getting the kids ready for school every morning from like kindergarten through, I think, maybe till they got to high school and they could almost do it for themselves. But every morning when I sent them out to catch the bus or I'd let them off at school, I'd say 3 things to them. Learn something new, be nice to everybody, and have fun.
Good advice.
Because if you do those 3 things, you've had a good day. But it doesn't end with graduating from college. I do those 3 things every day. As I got a little older, I added one more. I didn't do it every day, but once a week. And remember, life's not fair, so just get over it.
That's right. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we some of our friends have cringed when we tell them that we have just received the guardianship on 2 of our grandchildren
Yeah.
at 15 and 17. So they're living with us and going to high school. And boy, does it bring back memories for me, because it's a struggle serving so many different types of students. We really do have a melting pot, and we have to learn to deal with different kinds of students, their behaviors, their past, and their future aspirations.
Yeah.
So it's a tall task.
God, you mentioned that. We were talking when we were talking a week or so ago. God bless you, because it's tough raising. It's tough raising. It's tough.
It's been a joy.
But when you know what, our pastor Craig Coulter, Oral Valley Church in Nazarene, and he said this quite a few times over the years that I've been going there. He's like, "Hey, look, if you're not making your life fun and enjoyable for your kids, right? What makes you think they're going to come back around once they're grown?"
Yeah.
And I thank my wife so much for this, because I was a willing participant, but I wasn't planning the events. I think maybe it's the teacher in her. We always had something going on. We were going somewhere on the weekends. We were going somewhere at night. We never had a babysitter. When our kids were growing up, I only remember 2 incidences, and one of them was my mother. We just felt like if we couldn't take our kids where we were invited to go, then we just wouldn't go.
You sound like my mother and father.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever having a babysitter.
I don't remember ever having a babysitter.
I went places I didn't want to go, but I was with them.
Sitting and behaving, by the way.
I didn't get a vote.
Right? And you were sitting right up there behaving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we've lost that. Hey, one other thing, maybe check me on this, because I was thinking as we were talking. See, we're already 30 minutes in. I told you 45 be the quickest. Are we still teaching civics? Somebody brought that to my attention the other day. And
Interesting
I'm like,
you said that. Our oldest grandson, who's the senior in high school, just had to take a civics
so
exam.
we are.
There's a mandatory, it's only 100 questions, and they have to have a 70% in order to graduate in Arizona. Now, that's the K-12 public school
So that
system.
is an Arizona requirement
That's
to
state law.
graduate civic. Okay, good.
That's state law.
Because somebody said, "Are we still teaching?" I know we're teaching social studies, but are we still teaching civics? And I'm like, I don't know. It's pretty important. When I was a kid growing up, we talked about it on a regular basis, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
How things work. I think that's where the biggest part for me is how things really work in the world. Social studies can cover part of that, but civics that's the mechanisms that make things happen.
I think one of the things we don't emphasize enough is what do they have to do to participate in civics, in government, local, state, and above that. And we just don't do enough of that, because you don't see youth involved in that many activities.
That's why the conversation that I had with Dr. Streeter recently, that was kind of what that was all about, to motivate. And you know what? We got to continue to do it apparently with adults, because if we only have 25 to 35% showing up to vote of the especially in these off-season elections,
Isn't that horrible?
I don't even know how you fix that other than just make people do it. But then you go, well, do I want people that really don't care? Do I really want them going? And you know what I'm saying? It's a catch-22 almost.
Well, I ran for the legislature in 2010, and it was an absolute horrible experience. The abuse you take, and that was just prior to the primary. And people are mean when it comes to politics. They don't want to hear anything except what they want to hear. And so we've decided I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't do it.
I'd rather do podcasts and run for office.
Well, that's kind of where we're at. We're involved. You take two hands and then some. The candidacies that we're sort of involved in. This is our fifth. Again, Ed got us involved in this. Some of the locals here in Marana got us involved in this. And of course, you want to help your friends, and you want to maintain what we're doing here in Marana. You want to keep that flow going. And we just discovered right away, it's just ugly.
It is ugly. And the fact that you have to raise so much money.
You have no idea. Can I ask you a question? Because I'm going to give you an answer. That when you were running for state legislature, and that was a long time ago. That was
2010.
Okay, 16 years ago. Ballpark, how much money did you feel like you needed to raise?
I ran on clean elections.
Okay.
Which means my entire budget, I think, was about $35,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I suggested to all the candidates, the local candidates, Oro Valley, Marana, I suggested you need at least 30 to 35 to run to be competitive. Now, people get away with, I shouldn't use that term. People have spent less than that and been successful. But in the environment right now, the way things are, you're not going to, if you really want to win and be competitive, you got to spend 35 to 40 grand.
And when I ran clean elections, we had to get, I can't remember the number, but we had to get so many donations of $5.
Yeah.
I didn't know enough people to get that much money and $5 a pop. Yeah. So you're talking to strangers about, give me $5, I want to run for the legislature. They'd look at you and say, why? Why would I give you $5? So, I mean, the whole system is set up by which you have to go to the large corporations, try to get the big money.
The developers and all that.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Although I want to kind of change that from not the big corporations and the deep money. I kind of want to change the thought process on developers, and here's why a little bit. Hear me out. And that is, we want development. Good development, right? Our communities, we need to be developing. We need to be prospering. We need to be growing. And to say, well, we're just going to shut all that out, to me is almost contrary to what we really want to accomplish. I need those people to help me.
Well, when I was superintendent, I was accused by the Tucson Weekly of being in bed with the developers. And of course, you can't. My boss, former boss, used to always say, "Don't argue with people that buy ink by the gallons."
Yes.
And so, I was, because they were coming.
Yep.
And we needed school sites.
Yep.
In those areas.
Yep.
Town council was very supportive of the schools, and impact fees were put into effect so we could have good, clean, wonderful schools. And then the last part of that was. That just builds more camaraderie if you get the schools in the right place. And all the developers that I worked with donated the land, because they knew if you had a good school in the middle of their subdivision, you're going to sell homes. And what's wrong with that?
But your critics don't or choose not to, understand that or educate themselves on that. It's just like the boogeyman, right? Because David and I have been saying this a while. The boogeyman now is data centers.
Well, there's always going to be something like that that's controversial.
So, and 5 years ago, I would have said Yes, they are the boogeyman because they use a lot of water and they use a lot of resources and all this stuff. And I used this example the other night and somebody laughed out loud. Remember the good old days when VCRs were that big and they cost $800? You remember those days? That was back in the late 70s, early 80s. And then they got smaller and they got cheaper. And like the last ones, they were $69 and they were about this size. Now no one even has them because we've replaced them with other things. That's what the beautiful thing about the data centers is they've just gotten more efficient and better, and they just don't use resources like they did in the past.
They'll get it figured out. But if you look at what I consider to be the most successful school districts, and in Marana, the current leader, Dan Streeter, has all my respect. He works hard. He has a good vision. People are supportive, and therefore it equates to good schools. But if you look at where people want to live, Oro Valley, Marana, Sarita, Vail, anywhere outside the city of Tucson. So if you look at the politics in the city of Tucson and compare them to the politics in Marana, they're night and day. Yeah. Because you have supportive people that want good schools. Exactly. Good roads.
Safe communities, good roads.
Good police departments.
And this is, how hard is this it's kind of like a no-brainer, isn't it? You want safe places, parks for your kids to play. They can get a decent education. Right?
And then when people are asked to vote on the ballot, they vote yes. Because they appreciate what they have. It is a no-brainer, but not everybody thinks that same way.
Wow. I knew we'd have, we talked about this. You see me looking over here, your lovely bride sitting his road shotgun with us the whole time. So
she's a good lady.
Yeah, she's a real good lady. We'll get her on next time. She's got the backstories to all these stories.
She owned her own business for 34 years.
Plug it.
She is retired.
Okay, she's done now. Okay.
She's in charge of me.
Yeah.
Full-time job.
Full-time. I was getting ready to say that's a full-time job.
Full-time job.
Well, thank you so much. This is great.
I appreciate
It's been great. We'll this weekend or next week we'll start. Would you come back?
Sure.
Because I'd love to really do some deep dives on some of this stuff you're talking about. I just wanted to cover the broad picture here this morning.
Anytime I can talk about Tucson and Southern Arizona and the Marana School District, I'd be happy to.
Yeah. I love this community. We could live, my family's from the Midwest, Tammy's family's from Utah, we got kids in Idaho. We could live anywhere and do anything we wanted to do, and this is what we choose to do. We're blessed.
It's a beautiful place.
It really is. And you know what? And our focus is to make it even better. We can't make it more beautiful per se, but we can continue to strengthen relationships and growth and stuff like that. We can affect that, and that's part of our whole motivation.
That's a good attitude.
Yeah. That's why we're here. Somebody goes, "Who pays you?" And I'm like, "No one." I'm building worth. David's got kids at home. He has to get paid. I can build value. There's a big difference.
And you're having fun doing it.
And I'm having a ball. I'm almost 70 years old. I haven't had a real paycheck in 30 plus years. And this is the most fun I've had.
I'm glad to see you're having fun.
Ever. This is really good. Because I get to hang out and meet people like yourself.
Well, fun is not overrated.
It's not overrated. Hey, I'll see you guys Saturday.
I'll be there.
Okay? And I'll help you with the doggy bags.
And cleaning the tables
afterwards.
We'll
hey, guys, thank you so much that was great. I'm going to bring David Samarano in here real quick just to do a real recap of all the cool things going on in Marana and how much fun it is to be here. And Oro Valley. I don't want to leave you guys out. Thanks for listening. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
In Marana, community isn't just where we live, it's who we are. And at the heart of it all is the Marana Chamber of Commerce. We are building a thriving community through connected business leadership. We start the month bright and early with Marana Mornings, sparking real conversations and connections. We celebrate growing networks at our 4th Tuesday mixers, hosted in exciting spaces. We unite visionaries and leaders at Impact Marana, driving meaningful progress together. We look ahead with Marana Insights, hearing directly from regional voices about what's next for our town. And we serve, through the passion of our board of directors and ambassadors, creating a culture of belonging through service and leadership. Because of our members, we're not just doing more, we're becoming more. Together, we're shaping the future of Marana. We are the Marana Chamber of Commerce.
Hey everybody, it's Chris.
Hey, it's David Samarano.
Hey guys, it's Clint Peak over here.
Hi, I'm Blair Lametti Mathias.
And I'm Summer Smeaton.
Hey, I'm Ron Arenas.
And I'm Will Pena.
Hey guys, I'm Mike Curry.
And I'm Mike Bader.
Hi there, I'm Bruce Ash.
Hi, Ed Wilkinson here.
Hi, this is Bob Elliott.
We are Live the Dream Media. Watch and listen to all of our shows Monday through Friday, only on the Live the Dream Media Network.
From the fields of wheat and cotton to the heart of our community, Marana was built on hard work and family values. John Post has farmed this land for years, built businesses, and served this community for decades. As mayor, John will fight for sustainable growth that respects our roots, keep neighborhoods safe, and make sure Marana remains the best place in Arizona to raise a family. John Post, farmer, father, and neighbor.
For over a century, radio has changed and impacted the lives of everyone, becoming one of the major foundations of communication, keeping us up to date in news and broadcasting, and providing daily music that we love. Radio evolves more as the years progress and time moves forward, and it is only becoming better. Live the Dream Media is proud to be part of that history, stepping into the evolution of online radio to make it more advanced than ever before. Introducing the Live the Dream Media app, your #1 online radio experience. Catch your favorite music 24/7 and tune into live podcasts, or catch up on your own time with our on-demand library. And you can also check out our integrated merch store built right into the app. No matter where you travel in the world, the dream stays with you. You can be anywhere on the planet and stay connected. Download the Live the Dream Media app for free today on the Apple App Store and Google Play, and experience radio reimagined.
You're listening to the Live the Dream Media Network, Arizona's premier live podcast studio and online radio.
Thank you for listening to Live the Dream Media.
Does your ordinary radio feel a little limited? If you're looking for a new way to listen, it's time for a fresh start. Introducing the Live the Dream Media app, your premier destination and a new level up for digital radio. Over the last 2 years, we've found new ways to ensure your digital radio experience is the best it can possibly be. From live podcasts that spark new perspectives to a 24/7 soundtrack of live music, and even our built-in merch store. We've built a platform that is convenient, high quality, and simple to navigate. But we're only just getting started. Catch all of our shows weekly and join the Live the Dream Media family today and help us change the airwaves forever. Download it for free on the App Store or Play Store today. Live the dream. The dream starts now.
Your favorite radio just got bigger, bolder, and better connected. Live the Dream Media is revolutionizing how you stay tuned in. With our explosive growth in online radio and our brand new mobile app, your entertainment goes wherever you do. Stream your favorite shows, discover new hits, and connect with audiences across the digital landscape, all at your fingertips. Advertisers don't miss out. Join our expanding digital network and reach engaged listeners across platforms. Download the Live the Dream Media app today and experience radio reimagined.
Thank you for tuning in to the Live the Dream Media Network. We've got an incredible slate of live podcasts waiting for you every week right here on our app. Get your morning started right with Wake Up, hosted by Christopher DeSimone, airing Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m. The momentum continues every Monday morning at 9 with the Marana and Oro Valley Experience, hosted by David Samorano and Clint Peak, followed by Truth and Tell with Blair Lametti and Summer Smeaton at 10:30 a.m. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, join us at 9 a.m. for Southwest Flavor, and don't miss Sobriety, Spirituality, and Sales every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. Every Wednesday.
Boom, we are back. We are back. That was a great segment.
It was like a history class.
Yeah. And he's wound up. He's ready to come back, David.
Is he?
Yeah.
Good.
That was
that's probably a fraction, like a small fraction of what he knows. And
well, June was saying on the way out, his wife was like, well, you should have told him this. And I'm like, well, we're going to be on a bunch.
Well, I know he's going to be the keynote speaker at the Marana Unified School District event here on Saturday. And I think they still have a couple tickets left. So if you're looking to go have a fun time and learn about the school district and celebrate the 100-year anniversary of it.
That's so cool.
This weekend they're doing an event at the high school from like 9 to 1, I believe, and then after that they're going to have the more adult event over at the Marana Pumpkin Patch.
Starts at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Yeah, doors open at 5:30. You can get registered to get in. Starts at 6 o'clock. So I'll be there. A couple of us from the team are going to be there. We're sponsoring the event, and we're proud to do that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a Marana High School alumni.
Yeah.
Go Tigers. Okay.
Well,
so hey, I saw young Roebuck yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, I saw Sean Roebuck yesterday at the Tucson Sugar Skulls game. He was there.
Oh, good.
How
was that?
It was great. They won.
Yeah.
You know, that's a better team than I've seen over the last couple of years.
Good.
It's a way better product.
Yeah, good. Good.
They have kind of a tenacity I didn't see, especially last season.
Uh-huh.
Not to knock the guys, but you know it's a game.
Yeah.
It's still fun to watch. I mean, either way, fast.
Fast. Yeah,
but
fast.
They ended up getting a W last night. There was a lot more people in the crowd that I'd seen over the last couple years.
Share with people why you were there. You weren't there just to be a fan.
Oh no,
you are
volunteering with the great organization 88 Crime, which is a non-for-profit that supports law enforcement. They work in partnership with the with media as well to provide an anonymous tip line. I always mess that word up. Anonymous tip line for people, so if they see something, they can call in, and you know if it leads to an arrest, you can get some money. So
beautiful.
Yeah, I should have my pitch a little bit better, but you know what? I'm a couple quarts short on coffee, so I'm trying to catch up.
And we are in the season where it's just one meeting after another. Some of them they're draining.
Yeah.
Because of, we're talking about the future of a lot of these communities, political stuff and how things work. And on one hand, you're blessed to be a part of that and have a voice in some of that. And the other part, it's just like, will this ever end? And the answer is no, it's just not going to.
No, you just get good at filtering it. You know, that's one thing I've learned over my short time in business is you got to find a way to filter it.
Don't take it home with you if you can avoid it.
And hey, it's a great opportunity to share that we're actually going to have 2 internship spots opening up right at the beginning of May. So if you're looking for an internship in the new media world, you want to learn some different ways to do content creation, podcasts, all the stuff that we do here.
That dreaded AI.
We are teaching AI in our internship. It's actually it's a big teaching point in our internship. We've had some interns come from some of the universities, and we've stressed to them, hey, inside the classroom and stuff, we totally get it that they're probably not going to push that too much, but outside of that, you need to be versed in AI, especially after I heard an interview with Steve Bartlett recently on one of his podcasts. He openly expressed that their whole hiring pattern has changed. When they're hiring new people, they're actually hiring them plus their AI agents that they have built. So they're bringing in hires that already have a crew that they can utilize inside of the workplace.
Right now, people that are listening, you're talking over the top of the heads of most of those people.
Yeah,
they have no clue of what you're just talking about. And the reason I mention that is, 100 years ago, most people used to be part of agriculture, farming, right?
Right.
How many people you know now that are actually, we know of you, but the vast majority of people do not depend directly on farming or agriculture to eat or survive.
Right.
So if you're just ignoring this thing, do it at your own peril.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, just learn it, and we also have some sales positions open. So if somebody is great in the media sales spot, they have a lot of expertise. We want somebody that's got skin in the game, not just a right off the street person.
Hey,
but
if you're applying for a job here,
yeah,
an opportunity here, because we don't have jobs, we have opportunities. We're going to expect skin in the game.
Yeah.
Because if not, we're not looking for employees. We're looking for people we're looking for teammates.
Yeah.
People that can throw down and get in here and because you know what? If for me it's fun. Like Dr. Wade just said, you're having fun. I'm like, yeah. More fun than I've ever had in my life, and primarily because I'm surrounded by a bunch of smart young people, which makes thank you.
And I can say that too now,
because everybody in this room now is almost young enough. Within a couple of cases, they're young enough to be your kid.
Yeah,
that's crazy that you're now at that age.
It's the reality.
You could almost have adult children.
It is
because when I met you, you were in your 20s. It's still in your 20s. I'm not going to tell how old you are, but you're pushing 40.
Yeah. Hey, and one more thing before we jump off with something to share. So it was towards the end of last week, the Marana High School's got a sports network thing that they're working on that they're starting. And we gave them a call, and we're going to help them start that up. So if you are local here in Marana, and you got a fire to help the school out, there's a cool club they've created that's going to be covering the sports element out there, and we want to continue to be a sponsor and help them get the resources they need. We've already made a pretty good donation to them to help them get started, and we. If you want to contact us and learn how to help it out more, just reach out to us at contact@ltdmedia.net.
Hey, and if you want to advertise on this incredible network, we've got all kinds of packaging, digital packaging, over-the-top packaging, sponsorships, shows that you can
you mean we make money?
Yeah. Well, we're trying to.
Because we see some people go, how do you guys make money on here?
How do you guys get paid?
Did you not see the commercial that somebody paid their hard-earned money on so they could get some business? Come on now.
Yeah. Well, I actually confessed to Dr. Wade, I'm not in it. I'm in it for value. You're in it for value, and you got little kids at home.
Yeah, I got kids.
You got to take a paycheck home.
Well, hey, thanks for bringing me on for the last couple minutes.
Well, it was.
Thanks, Wade, for coming on.
Yeah, that was
grew
amazing.
up swimming in the pool.
That was amazing. That was amazing. That was amazing. He will be back. We will see him Saturday. Hope to see a lot of you out there at the Pats on Saturday. We'll all be there. We're going to have a lot of fun, and you guys have a good week. Thanks for listening, and be nice to each other. It's